Dear Chad, I'm pleased to extend to you this offer of employment to join Convergys as Senior Analyst. May 2008, my first ever corporate finance job offer letter. Oh, what an exciting moment in time. Financial Diligence was the monster interview hack which enabled my success in that interview and helped me break into the career field of corporate finance. And this video teaches financial diligence. Financial diligence is step 1 of 4 in the top 12% interviewee method, an interview preparation program for corporate finance and corporate accounting rock stars like you. Year after year, interview after interview, financial diligence has enabled my career success, and I know it can do the same thing for you too. Financial diligence is a process of researching the hiring company's financial data, business model, and industry. Financial diligence is step 1 of 4 in the top 12% interviewee method and represents 3.5 hours of the 10-hour interview prep investment. This video is going to walk you through the 5 primary data sources that I personally use whenever performing financial diligence ahead of a job interview. Financial diligence data source number 1, hiring company website. Start with the hiring company website to get acquainted with the company's history, recent events, and products and services. Look for pages on the company's website titled History, FAQs, About Us, Products and Services, and Investors. If the hiring company is publicly traded, definitely find the investor relations page and note where you can download the SEC filings. Spoiler alert, more to come on the SEC filings later in this video. The fact is, interviewers can tell which candidates have spent time on their company's website and which candidates have not. So your investment in this part of the interview prep process will show through on interview day. Financial diligence data source number 2, business news and stock market websites. Business news aggregator sites like Yahoo Finance are a fantastic source of information for financial diligence. Specifically, they can help get you insights on news media coverage of hiring company events, key competitor data, and industry trends. So just go to a site like Yahoo Finance, enter the hiring company's name, and see what search results you get. Publicly traded companies are likely to get more search results. If you're interviewing for a small, privately held company, back your search up to Google or a general search engine and play around with a few different queries until you can get some information on recent events, industry trends, and key competitors. Being informed on the hiring company's news media coverage, its industry trends, and its key competitors will enable you to have a timely and informed dialogue with your interviewers. Financial diligence data source number 3, SEC filings. If the hiring company is publicly traded, you want to download that 10K annual report, 10Q most recent quarterly report, and any recent 8K filings of significant company events. These can be found on the investor relations page of the hiring company. What if my hiring company is not publicly traded? SEC filings are still in play. What you want to do is download SEC filings for key competitor to the hiring company. This is still going to get you a wealth of information on the industry, and you can use financial data and the competitors' SEC filings to benchmark your hiring company. Beyond the financial statements themselves, a must-read is Management Discussion and Analysis and the 10K. MD&A is a fantastic source of information for strategic plans of the hiring company and industry risks. So definitely check that out as part of your interview prep. What I have here is the cover page of the 2007 10K annual report for Convergys. Studying this document was vital to my success in getting that offer letter that I read at the beginning of this video. So I know the SEC filings can really help you up your interview prep game and get you closer to that job offer. Financial diligence data source number 4, bizjournals.com. Business Journals is a print and digital media publication company covering 43 cities in the United States. BizJournals.com has free articles and information available on its site, as well as proprietary research and data that is available for purchase. BizJournals.com has 2 fantastic value propositions for job candidates. First, BizJournals.com gives you a local point of view on hiring companies. How does the company fit in with its local community? How does it fit in with the local economy? Second, bizjournals.com gives, it can get you potentially financial data about privately held companies. You might be able to find out the company's annual revenue, its number of employees, or its number of locations through bizjournals.com. I always check bizjournals.com whenever I'm preparing for a job interview, and I always seem to get a unique insight that helps me be just a little bit more prepared for my next interview. Data source number 5, Dun & Bradstreet Business Information Report Snapshot. When the stakes are high and you are in a competitive field for a high salary job with a privately held company, give serious consideration to investing in a Dun & Bradstreet Business Information Report Snapshot. This report is going to cost you about $139.99, but it is going to get you financial data and credit risk analysis on a privately held company. After all, if it's a high salary job, don't you want to know if your prospective future employer can afford to pay you? Seriously, if you are going into an interview, privately held company, high stakes, talented candidate pool, if you're the only candidate who purchased this report, you are uniquely positioned to have a detailed and informed conversation with the interviewers on their company's financial data. This can be a big separator between you and the candidate pool. I have personally invested in D&B Business Information Report snapshots when preparing for job interviews, and I absolutely believe they have been difference makers in helping get me job offers. Let's go to the big board for a recap of the 5 primary data sources we use when performing financial diligence. Here you have it, team. Financial diligence, step 1 of 4 in the top 12% interviewee method, 3.5 hours of your 10-hour interview prep investment. Data source 1, hiring company website, learn about the company's history, its products and services, check out any press releases, and note where the investor relations page if the hiring company is publicly traded. Data source number 2, business news and stock market websites. You want to find out news media coverage of hiring company events, industry trends, and info on key competitors. If your hiring company is privately held and kind of small, just go to a general search engine instead like Google and play around with a few queries until you can get the information you need. Data source number 3, SEC filings. SEC filings were so vital to helping me break through and get my first career opportunity in corporate finance. I gave them a star here, or 3 stars. And if you are interviewing for a privately held company, just find a key competitor and research their SEC filings. Data source number 4, bizjournals.com, fantastic resource for local point of view on hiring companies, also a potential resource for financial data on privately held companies. And then data source number 5, Dun & Bradstreet Business Information Report Snapshot. If the stakes are high with a high-paying job for a privately held company, consider making that $139.99 investment so you can be the most financially informed candidate in the candidate pool. I personally use all 5 of these sources whenever performing financial diligence in preparation for a job interview. If you can commit to investing 3.5 hours researching these sources as part of your interview preparation, you can create major separation from you and the rest of the candidate pool. This is what I believe is your best approach to being the most financially informed candidate in the candidate pool. Will I be happy working for this company? That's a question you must confront as part of your interview preparation. This video will teach you cultural diligence. Cultural diligence is step 2 of 4 in my top 12% interviewee method, an interview preparation method for corporate finance and corporate accounting rock stars like you. No matter the career opportunity, cultural diligence is what enabled me to make great decisions around leaning into and accepting the job offers that were right for me and stepping away from the career opportunities which would not have been a great fit. So I know cultural diligence as part of your interview preparation can help you make great career choices too. Cultural diligence is the process of assessing the hiring company's fit with your values, lifestyle, and career goals. Cultural diligence is step 2 of 4 in the top 12% interviewee method and represents 2.5 hours of your 10-hour interview preparation investment. This video is going to walk you through the 3 steps of cultural diligence that I personally perform whenever preparing for a corporate finance job interview. Step 1 of 3 in cultural diligence is listing your preferences. Simply take out a piece of paper, list your most strongly preferred organizational characteristics for a company, and then be sure to rank those. Some people may place a high value on employer charitable involvement. Others may place a high value on work-life balance and flexible scheduling. There's no wrong answer. The most important thing is that you go into the interview with a clear sense of what matters to you most and be prepared to discuss that with the interviewers. Hiring companies are looking for candidates who know what they want and candidates whose values align to the organization's values. So be sure to articulate these things clearly when you speak with your interviewers. Step 2 of 3 in cultural diligence is organization research. There's 2 great sources of information for you to perform your organization research. First is, as you imagined, the internet. Where do you want to go on the internet? Check out the hiring company's LinkedIn page, check out its social media accounts, check out local newspapers online to see if they're writing anything about working for the hiring company. Run Google searches on best places to work, see if the hiring company's ever been part of a best places to work research or survey effort. And then check job boards like Glassdoor to see what people are saying. These sources will give you a mix of how the company is projecting itself to the public culturally and how members from within the public are receiving the hiring company culturally. So you can start to get a feel for what the hiring company is about. But no substitute for source number 2 of organization research, and that is qualified network contacts. A qualified network contact is someone who's either worked for the hiring company, worked with the hiring company, or worked for or with the hiring supervisor. These professionals are going to be able to give you insight that you just cannot get in the public sphere. So you want to see if you can speak with anyone who meets one of these criteria for having experience with the hiring company. There will be no substitute for the insight they can give. So scan your LinkedIn network and see if any friends can put you in touch with their friends to find out more about the hiring company. Step 3 of 3 in cultural diligence is the cultural assessment. Take the preferences that you wrote up in step 1 and contrast those against the organization research notes you took in step 2 to see how the hiring company lines up with the values and characteristics that are most important to you. If you uncover any red flags, take notes of these so you can use that to inform questions that you'll ask during the interview. Give the hiring company a chance. They may pleasantly surprise you. However, if you do uncover information that suggests that this will not be the right fit opportunity for you, then professionally withdraw your candidacy. Sometimes the best move is staying where you are. Let's go to the big board for a recap of cultural diligence. Here we go, team. Top 12% interviewee method, cultural diligence, step 2 of 4, 2.5 of your 10-hour interview preparation investment. We got 3 steps here. First, listing your preferences. Second, performing the organization research. Remember, we want to use internet resources and leverage our network connections there. And then step 3, performing the cultural assessment to make the right choice. Cultural diligence is what's given me the confidence to know I was doing the right thing when I signed a job offer letter. And it gave me the confidence to also know I was doing the right thing when I politely withdrew my candidacy from an opportunity. If you're wondering, what is the real value? What is the competitive edge for cultural diligence in a job interview situation? And here's what's up. If you are in a tightly contested candidate pool where there are multiple qualified individuals for the job, the tie-breaking factor in the hiring company's decision could be cultural fit. They're going to want to hire the person who's going to best fit in and accent their organization culture. So if you can go into a job interview and clearly articulate your cultural values and your organization preferences, ask insightful questions to the hiring company about their values, this may just be the difference between you getting a job offer letter and you getting a thank you for your time email. Job interview practice is important because it will ensure you are prepared to answer questions the interviewer asks. There you have it, team. From Indeed.com, the most visited job board in the United States, practicing interview questions is in fact very important to your interview success. This video is going to teach you step 3 of 4 in my top 12% interviewee method, an interview preparation program for corporate finance and corporate accounting rock stars like you. Practicing interview questions has given me the confidence I needed to interview for success and close with a job offer, interview after interview. I know it can do the same for your career success too. Interview question prep involves practicing your answers to common interview questions and drafting your questions to ask the interviewers. Interview questions is step 3 of 4 in the top 12% interviewee method and represents 3.5 hours of the 10-hour interview prep investment. This video is going to focus on practicing 2 common types of interview questions and then drafting your questions to ask the interviewers. Be sure to have your resume handy and a copy of the position profile for which you are interviewing when you're preparing for interview questions. First up, the 2 common types of interview questions that you need to prepare for. One is personal experience. Personal experience questions help the interviewer understand your relevant experience, your relevant skills, your ability to impact results, your ability to self-direct, and your ability to build relationships. Case study questions are about assessing your real-time problem solving and your ability to clearly communicate ideas in stressful situations. Here's an example of a personal experience question. Tell me about a time where you discovered an accounting mistake that you personally made. How did you fix it? How did you communicate the error and the solution to your leadership team? Pretty standard personal experience question. Tell me about a time you messed up. What'd you do about it? Questions like, why are you prepared to leave your current job to take this opportunity? Or describe an area of weakness for me, are questions you can have nailed before the interview day. So what you want to do is identify 6 to 10 common personal experience questions. It's easy to find on the internet, just run a search, and practice your answers to those questions. Pick questions that you think are reasonably likely to appear in a finance and accounting interview. Personal experience questions for, say, a marketing interview might be slightly different. And the fact is, you could be asked an infinite number of personal experience questions you've never thought of. So don't stress out about thinking every possible question that you could be asked. Just identify 6 to 10 good ones and practice those. Because then on interview day, if you are hit with an unexpected personal experience question, you've already got a well-developed approach for giving a strong answer. The other type of question is case study questions. Case study questions are less common in interviews in my experience, but they do come up, so you want to practice and be ready for them. Here's an example. Our company just made a $10,000 purchase. Tell me the different implications for the income statement if we expense it versus capitalizing it. So that's a pretty no-frills financial accounting question. And similar to personal experience questions, what you want to do is identify 5 solid case study question examples for finance and accounting interviews. Again, they're all over the internet. A search can get you there. And practice giving your answers to those. Again, you could get hit with anything from a case study question's point of view. What you want is practice giving good answers, articulating a logical solution to the problem, and then clearly, concisely communicating it. So practice case study questions. You're practicing your problem-solving skills and your communication skills. And if you give a good answer, it can really help your candidacy. Now let's change gears to the questions you must ask the interviewers. If you take nothing else away from this video, you must ask questions during your interview. When the interviewer asks, "What questions do you have for me?" you have a robust list of questions ready to go. If you do not, it likely ends your candidacy on the spot. So you get the material for your questions from financial diligence and cultural diligence. Financial diligence is going to help you develop questions that demonstrate you understand the company financially and you're looking to understand how you can create business value for the organization. Your cultural diligence notes will help you draft questions that show you have an understanding of the company's culture and you want to be a part of that, but also help you get the information that you need to make the right decision when you sign that job offer letter. Now that you've got your questions drafted, you want to go through and prioritize them. When you get to the interview, you want to start with your most important question and work your way down. Your best questions balance showing you have an understanding and are looking to learn more about how you can create value against getting the information you need so you know you're making the right decision when you sign that job offer letter. So go into the interview, you start your questions, and you just keep firing them away until you get thrown out. That's the playbook, team. And I've got an article here that really captures the mentality that you want to have when you're asking interview questions. It's by Heather Hunn, 2017, medium.com. I learned the secret to interviewing and got 5 times more job offers. Before I learned the secret to interviewing, I was rejected from 25 internships that I applied to during business school. So I asked a friend who got offers at multiple top firms and startups, what was his secret? Act like you are interviewing them. Those sage words of wisdom, team. I discovered that secret somewhat early in my career because the fact is your time and your experience is incredibly valuable to hiring companies. And your employer has a significant impact on your quality of life. So the fact is you are interviewing them. And if you go in the interview with that confidence of knowing you're a valuable associate and that you can create a lot of value for them, your confidence will show through and the employers will be looking to get you on their roster. Let's go to the big board for a recap of interview questions. There you have it, team. Top 12% interviewee method, interview questions, step 3 of 4, 3.5 hours of your 10-hour interview preparation investment. First up, you're going to practice your questions. We went over personal experience questions and case study questions. Be sure to have your resume and the position description handy as you're practicing questions so you know you're developing relevant answers to the interview situation. Then you got to draft your questions to ask the interviewers. You must ask questions. That is a key takeaway from this video. You want a robust list of questions that shows you understand the company's needs, you are ready to meet the company's needs, and you have some questions that must be answered because you are interviewing them every bit as much as they are interviewing you. If you can commit to 3.5 hours of preparing for interview questions, you will give your best possible interview, and your best possible interview is what leads to job offer letters. Congratulations, finance department rock stars. You've wisely invested over 9 hours in your interview preparation. Now what? We protect your investment with interview logistics. This video will teach you step 4 in my top 12% interviewee method, an interview preparation program for corporate finance and corporate accounting rock stars like you. Whether I'm flying across the country, driving across town, or logging into a video conference app, Interview Logistics has always ensured that I showed up to the interview on time, fresh, and ready to close and get that job offer. Interview Logistics is the process of planning your interview day in advance. Interview Logistics is step 4 in the top 12% interviewee method and represents approximately 1 hour of your total 10-hour interview preparation investment. The rest of this video is going to walk you through the 4 steps of interview logistics that I personally take whenever I'm preparing for a corporate finance job interview. Step 1 in interview logistics is to review the agenda for all the logistic details that you need. So by no later than 72 hours before the interview, either the hiring company or the recruiting agency will have provided you with an agenda. If not, get it. And then review the agenda for all the information you need to show up on time and ready. So if it's a physical in-person interview, you need the building address, parking instructions, how to get into the building, where to go. If it's a virtual video conference interview, you need to make sure you got the right platform and login information from the hiring company, as well as a good internet connection. If you do not have all the information you need, don't be shy about reaching out to the hiring company or the recruiter. After all, they want you to show up to the interview on time as well. Interview logistics step number 2 is planning your transit. If your interview is in real life, physical location interview, then you want to reverse engineer your travel plan, your route for interview day, wherever you're starting from. Most likely your home, but if you're traveling across the country, you can be starting from a hotel, and map it out, know your route, and then have some backup plans in case there are any issues. Going above that, if it's possible, if it's a local interview, just to drive across town, actually do a dry run before interview day. You don't want to learn unfamiliar traffic patterns on the way to a job interview. If the interview is virtual, then still test your connection, make sure you've got the right platform installed on your computer, and know that you have all the right information connections to get onto the platform on time and ready to go. Last, make sure you have a point of contact at the hiring company just in case something goes wrong interview day. You know, this could be an administrative assistant for the department where you're working, or it could be a human resources professional. But if something totally beyond your control goes wrong, it'll help you out to be able to call someone inside the hiring company and give them a heads up. Interview logistics step number 3 is getting your time off arranged. The best practice is really just to take a full day off of your current job whenever you have a job interview. Particularly if you've got a 4-hour half-day interview, or even if it's just a 2-hour interview. Take that risk off the table that something's going to go wrong at your current job and disrupt you, put at risk you showing up on time for your job interview. If you can't get a full day off, just get as much time off as you can and create buffers around the time before and after the interview. Block your calendar in Outlook, create as much protection of your calendar as possible so you can get to the interview on time, fresh, and ready to close with a job offer. Interview logistics step number 4 is staging your interview day for success. There's 3 parts to this. First is review the agenda to get your interviewer names. If the agenda provides the names of your interviewers, you can research them on LinkedIn, determine which interviewers should be asked which specific questions from the questions you drafted in step 3, and you can make a little small talk. So this allows you to really target and curate your interview approach to the unique individual nature of each of the people you're going to speak with. Part 2 of staging your interview day for success is food. New food experimentation and interview day do not go well together. So be sure to eat some safe food that you know agrees with your body the night before and the morning of the interview. And then part 3 for staging your interview days for success is the attire. What clothing are you going to wear? This is a great opportunity to show up and look like you already fit in. So reach out to the recruiter or a contact in your network who has experience with the hiring company and see what the cultural dress style vibe of the company is. You want to ratchet it up and make sure that you're dressing with the professionalism of an interview, but then show up to the interview like you already fit in. Let's go to the big board for a recap of the 4 steps of interview day logistics. Here we go, team. Interview logistics. Top 12% interviewee method, step 4 of 4, and approximately 1 hour of the total 10-hour investment. Time will vary depending on how complicated your travel is for the interview. So step 1, you got to review that agenda and make sure you have all the logistical details you need to get there on time, and then plan. And then step 2, use that to plan your transit. And then step 3, get that time off. Try to get a full day off work if you can, but get as much time off as you possibly can for your interview. And then part 4 here, you want to stage your interview day success. So that is knowing your interviewers, research your interviewers if you have their names. And then you want to plan your food. And then you want to dress like you already fit in. This hour of interview preparation is so important because it locks in your investment and protects the over 9 hours of interview preparation you made in the first 3 steps to ensure that you give your best possible interview on interview day. And that is what positions you to close and get a job offer. No matter the job interview situation, planning interview logistics has always paid off for me. I've always showed up calm and ready to go because I had a good interview day plan well in advance of interview day. So if it can enable my success, I know it can enable your interview success too. That's a wrap for interview logistics, step 4 of 4 in the top 12% interviewee method, an interview preparation program for corporate finance and corporate accounting rock stars like you. If you have completed all 4 parts of the method, congratulations to you because you are about to go to a job interview as the most prepared candidate. And being the most prepared candidate is what best positions you to get a job offer. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel because more videos designed to accelerate your career in corporate finance and corporate accounting are coming. Also, please share the videos with your colleagues. Last, I'd love to get your feedback. Please leave comments in the comments section. What did you like? What could be improved on? And what are the subjects you want to hear about in the future? More videos are coming, and these videos are designed to accelerate your career. I'm Chad James. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Have a high performance day, and congratulations on your next job offer.